The CISSP. If you're in cybersecurity, you've definitely heard of it. It gets thrown around as the gold standard. But what does that actually mean? Is it all hype? Or is it a genuinely smart, strategic move for your career? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. We're going to deconstruct the whole thing, the good, the bad, the difficult, so you can decide if it's the right move for you. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why it's even called the gold standard. Then, we'll get into the weeds with the 8 domains of knowledge you have to master. After that, we'll walk through the actual steps to get certified, tackle that mysterious pass rate, and then, the fun part, we'll look at the career boost and what it takes to keep your certification active. All right, let's start at the beginning. What is the CISSP, really, and why does it carry so much weight? Look, this isn't just another line item on a resume. In the industry, it's widely seen as the benchmark for proving you're a serious, senior-level cybersecurity professional. Which, begs the question, what makes any certification the gold standard? It's more than just a really hard test. It's about having a long history, getting recognized globally, and building a reputation for producing real leaders in the field. ISC², the organization behind the cert, isn't shy about it. They literally call it the world's premier cybersecurity certification. Now, I know that sounds like pure marketing, but there's some real substance behind it. The CISSP is vendor neutral, so it's not about Cisco or Microsoft products, it's about universal security principles. Plus, it's accredited against international standards, which gives it that global legitimacy. And you can see that legitimacy build over time. The groundwork was laid way back in 1990. The cert officially launched in 94, but the real game changer, 2003. That's when the U.S. National Security Agency, the NSA, basically said, this is our baseline. That government stamp of approval was huge. And now you've got this global force of over 160,000 certified pros. So, with that history lesson out of the way, what do you actually have to know? It all comes down to mastering what they call the common body of knowledge, which is broken down into 8 distinct areas or domains. This is the heart of the CISSP.
Now, don't just glance at this chart, really look at it. See that biggest piece of the pie? Security and risk management, sitting at 16%. This is the single biggest clue about what this exam is all about. Yes, the technical stuff like network security is important, but the heaviest focus is on strategy, on governance, on understanding risk from a business point of view.
And that brings us to the most critical takeaway. The CISSP exam isn't trying to find out if you're the best firewall admin. It's designed to see if you can think like a manager, a director, or a CISO. It's all about the strategic why behind a security decision, not just the technical how of flipping the switches. Okay, so you feel confident about the knowledge. Great. But what's the actual path look like? It's not just a matter of signing up and taking a test. It's a full-on journey with some serious requirements. It really boils down to 3 major steps. First, you need experience. We're talking 5 years of paid, full-time work in at least 2 of those 8 domains we just saw. Now, you can get a 1-year discount on that if you have a 4-year college degree or another qualifying cert. Second, you gotta pass the beast of an exam. And third, you can't just declare victory. You need to be endorsed by another CISSP in good standing who can vouch for you. But what if you're sitting there thinking, hey, I know this stuff, but I don't have 5 years in the industry yet? Well, they've thought of that. It's called the Associate of ISC2. You can pass the exam first, which is a huge accomplishment, and then you get a 6-year window to rack up that necessary work experience. It's a really smart way to get your foot in the door early. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? The exam's difficulty. There is so much chatter and anxiety out there about the CISSP pass rate, so let's try and cut through the noise. And here's where it gets interesting right away. ISC², they don't publish an official pass rate at all. So anyone who tells you they know the exact number is just guessing. This leaves everyone trying to piece together stories and rumors, which just adds to the stress. And this chart just shows how wild the speculation is. You'll see general estimates online that put the pass rate as low as 20%. Terrifying, right? But then you'll see boot camps and training companies claiming their students have a 95% pass rate. So what gives? How can both of those things even be remotely true? The answer and the key to that massive gap goes right back to what we talked about earlier. Passing this exam isn't about luck. It's about learning to think in a specific way. The people who pass are the ones who successfully adopt that management mindset. They've learned to answer questions from a risk advisor's perspective, not a hands-on keyboard technician's. That's the secret sauce. So, you've climbed the mountain, you've mastered the domains, you've adopted the mindset, and you've passed the exam. Now for the best part, the reward. What does having CISSP after your name actually do for your career? Let's talk numbers.
Let's start with the most obvious one, money. The average salary for a CISSP holder in North America is just shy of $148,000. That right there is a pretty powerful statement about how much employers value this certification.
But let's put that number in perspective. Compared to their colleagues who don't have the certification, CISSP holders earn, on average, a 35% premium. A 35% raise, essentially. That is a massive, massive return on your investment of time and study. Okay, great pay is one thing, but are there actually jobs? Oh yeah, right now in the US alone, there are over 70,000 open positions that either require or strongly prefer the CISSP. That's not just a statistic, that's a measure of incredible demand for exactly this skill set. And look at the kinds of jobs we're talking about. These aren't entry-level roles. The CISSP is your ticket to the senior leagues. We're talking about becoming a CISO, a security director, an architect, the people making the strategic decisions and leading the security programs. But earning the certification, that's not the end of the story. Think of it more like the beginning of a new chapter. To keep the CISSP valuable for everyone, you have to actively maintain it and prove you're keeping your skills sharp. The way you do that is by earning 120 continuing professional education credits, or CPEs, every 3 years. They're split into 2 buckets. Group A credits are what you'd expect, things directly related to security, like going to a conference. But Group B is what's really interesting. These are for broader professional skills, like taking a public speaking class or even getting an MBA. It reinforces that a CISSP is expected to be a well-rounded business leader, not just a tech expert. So there you have it. We've pulled back the curtain on the gold standard. We've seen where it comes from, what it demands, the mindset it requires, and the very real rewards it can offer. Which brings us right back to the only question that truly matters. Now that you know what it really takes, is the CISSP the right strategic investment for you?